I hope that he's not running to the shack and we plan on joining from there. If he is, he is. But welcome to the Karma chat there, guys, or the Karmic transmission, I guess I should say. As soon as we get a few more people in here, this will be a little bit more entertaining. Okay, there we go. There's Ayame. Should be flipping her around here. You got to unmute yourself there, friendo.
I need to?
Yeah. Now you should be able to turn on your video, too.
It says the host has stopped it.
Really?
Yeah, that's what it says.
Hang on. There it is. Hello. Hey, brother, what's going on, man? Are you? Yeah, I just tried messaging it to you. Let me see if I can send you another email really fast. Hey, no problem, man. Dude, you're fine. You're fine. We gotta, one of these nights, we got to get you over here with your computer. So. Yeah. Well, hang on one second. I'll get it over to you. Okay. Bye.
So I guess I'm not the only one who didn't get the thing this time, huh?
I'm not quite sure what happened this go around because yeah, Clint was missing it. Mom and Rex had a hard time with it. The Facebook page for some reason put it as like a live event on Facebook and dropped the link for the Zoom meeting, and I had to re-add it last minute.
Gotcha.
So yeah, this one's been a little bit weird since we changed it to an event. It hasn't been quite as easy as I was hoping for. Let's see here, where is it?
It's always a learning experience.
Every time. Every time. Cancel. Let me do this. And let me do this. And this here.
Just mute this.
There we go. And send. Okay.
Well, since we're kind of waiting on everything, I will be right back.
Well, fine.
Huh?
Go for it.
Okay.
That's all good. I was going to tease you about doing your intro and giving everybody our ats and what have yous. And
I will. But I mean, we may as well wait until at least some other people are here because it looks like it's
a likely excuse.
Yeah. Well.
Man. It's amateur hour here with Karma Incarnate, guys. I know you can. Hey, there's Chris.
Hi, Jake.
Hey, dude. How's it going, man?
It's going pretty good. How about yourself?
Oh, not too bad for a Monday, It's always great when I get to see old friends and chat with, close friends. Have my brother on. It's good times.
Yeah, good to see you. Are you at your house?
I am.
Very good.
Yeah, I've got myself kind of sequestered downstairs in my office here. My podcast room is kind of packed with some stuff, so I've got to do a little bit of some cleaning and reorganizing to make it all happen. But this works well.
You're doing pretty good on pumping out videos.
Well, thanks, man. Yeah. We're trying to keep ahead of it because it's, with what we do and what basically everything that we need is just getting the word out, So anything that we can do to make content and push it is good, even having on old friends, people that we haven't seen in a while. So Clint just called me. He's having a bit of a hard time. He's the more technologically limited, one of us. He has a
That's
hard
a
time.
diplomatic way to put that.
Hey, I do what I can. So, by the way, Chris is my buddy. This is my friend Ayame, old friend. We go back.
I think we met back at a park picnic one time.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we've met before.
Yeah.
Either way, it's nice to see you again.
You too.
So.
Ayame? Is that how you say that?
Yes.
Okay.
Ayame is fine either.
All right, very good.
Hang on a second here. I got to promote Clint. He's a promotable individual.
Okay, perfect. There we go.
Can you hear us, Clint?
Yeah.
Okay, so now all you got to do is turn on your video and you're in, man.
We're halfway there.
I don't know why I have to redo this every time.
I don't know what you're doing either, man.
Usually there's a thing that says, allow video or share video. I don't have any of that.
So look on your, like down at the bottom, you've got a control panel there, and you should see one that has like a video button.
If you don't see it, press your screen one time.
Click on that, and it should let you start or stop video. Because I've got everything turned on for you.
Hi, honey. What you looking for? A scary game? You still working a companion, Jake?
I sure am, man.
Oh, how do you do it?
Oh, dude, it's interesting around that place anymore.
I know how you did it because I did it for 10 years.
Well, I hit 7 in December, so I'm getting there.
7 years? Jesus.
Yeah, 7 years. And what's crazy is I understand that whole saying of the 7-year itch. You know what I mean? Because that place has really made me start kind of going, okay, it almost feels like it's time to shit or get off the pot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I have a 4-year itch myself. So
yeah. So
I've had 4 jobs in the last 2 years.
Dude, that's crazy, man.
85.
What's been going on? What's been going on with you?
Well, I just started working again. I just had 5 months off. I got fired for disagreeing with the head clinician at the rehab I was working at.
No
they made up a great excuse. They actually fired me for not self-quarantining after my ex-wife came into town from Sacramento for my daughter's birthday. Fantastic. So I got actually paid double to sit on my ass from March, and I just started working. I'm working for a Comcast contractor setting up cable into homes and business and whatnot. So I'm out there interacting with the world in a car in a hot day. It's hard work. I'm gonna be honest. I'm not
crazy though. That's nuts that they fired you for not self-quarantining.
Yeah.
That's
that was the made up reason. The real reason was I disagreed with someone, and I didn't even think anything of it. I just, working with like a bunch of salespeople, their egos I can deal with, but psychologists and clinicians, their egos are like very super fragile.
Yeah. I can understand that. It happens sometimes. People. The funny thing about jobs is a lot of it becomes managing egos as you get into things and start having to work and understanding people and how they work together. It's weird how much that actually takes place and affects how jobs can move, So
I'm going to keep looking for work, and I'll find something around here closer. I moved out to Centerville, so I'm out in Davis County.
Oh, okay.
I like it out here. It's nice.
It's nice out there.
It is nice out there.
Nestled up onto the mountainside right off the Parish Lane exit. So there's like 11 hiking trails, literally 5-minute walk out my door.
Dude, no, that does sound nice.
It is.
But that's nice to take the kids out and go for a hike.
It is, and we found there's like petroglyphs, like native petroglyphs. 20-minute walk from my house. Kind of cool.
Okay.
So,
That's very cool.
it's pretty hot out there right now, but in
Petroglyphs.
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 Can you hear me still?
Yeah,
Yes.
we can hear you.
So here's the deal. Here's the update. So I can see the screen with you three in it, and then I have another window where I can see myself.
So scroll left on the screen. So like take your thumb and scroll to the left.
I don't have a touch screen.
What are you on?
So here's the thing. When I put share screen, it says host disabled participant screen share.
Okay. So you should not share a screen, Clint. You don't need to share anything.
In the lower left corner, there should be a little button that says stop video or start video.
Yeah.
Do you see it?
Yeah. Failed to start video camera. Please select another video camera in settings.
Okay. So do you have another camera on your computer?
No.
Well, then that's what's going on. Your camera on your computer is broken.
But
it's saying that your camera doesn't work.
But I can see myself with my camera talking right now.
Then try to close that.
Huh?
Close that thing where you can see you talking. Can you close that?
Yeah.
Okay, close it.
Hey.
There we go.
So you had two different video chats going on.
I see.
Everyone had your camera.
Good for me. How are you, Chris?
I'm doing good.
It's good to see you, man.
Hanging tight.
I like the shirt. Got some Number of the Beast.
Thanks. I cut the sleeves off it last week. It was too hot.
All Iron Maiden shirts should have the sleeves cut off.
I know. It was dumb that they even sold it with sleeves.
Come that way. Come prepackaged with no sleeves.
I used to draw that guy for people.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Dude, I've got I had a stack of your old pictures, Clint, that had like a really big Eddie in it that you drew years and years ago. I'll have to see if I can dig it out somewhere. It's like in a Tupperware box or somewhere here in the house. So, because yeah, you drew him quite a bit.
Yeah, that's one interesting thing about Iron Maiden is I wonder how many people they got into art.
Yeah.
As well as music. Because that was one of the things that got me into drawing was their album covers. I thought they were so cool.
I mean, it's definitely all the exposure I had to Iron Maiden when I was young is the covers.
Yeah.
So I knew more about the album art than the music. You know, I don't know if I had ever heard an Iron Maiden song when I was younger. I probably did, but I wouldn't have known it.
I mean, if you some around me, but
well, like I said, I'm sure I did because they weren't exactly like a small group, but I wouldn't have known. In fact, if you played one for me right now, I probably still wouldn't know.
Yeah,
they're like one of the biggest bands in the world now. I mean, considered that.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Well, like I said, I mean, everybody would know but me for sure.
When they came to concert, that was a wicked concert that they put on. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was cool.
A couple of years.
What's that, Chris?
I saw them a couple of years ago when they came.
Yeah.
USANA?
Actually, I went with Randy Everell and his daughter, so it must have been 4 or 5 years ago.
That was the one we went and saw him too. I think we might have bumped into you at the show.
Yeah, I got in a fist fight with the guys behind us.
You got in a fight?
I got in a fight. I always get in a fight at concerts. I don't know why. I don't drink anymore, so maybe I won't anymore. But they knocked over Randy's daughter. They were like trying to mosh where it was non-moshable, and they knocked her over. And I turned around and cold cocked the guy. And we were just dying to do it the whole time. They were bugging us.
Just looking for a reason.
It was just the right excuse. Well, hey, that's what you're defending her honor. That's what it comes down to. That should be a good enough reason, right?
That's right. We don't just willy-nilly fight people.
Yeah, you don't just throw off and hit someone for almost no reason.
Almost is not no reason.
Almost is not no reason.
That's a good saying right there with the proper grammar.
No, it's got to have bad grammar. If it's got the proper grammar, it's going to lose all effectiveness.
Yeah, I think those are rules that only work for you and Rex.
Well, yeah, kind of. It's like we said. It's about the feeling. If you can understand the feeling and what's going on behind it, the words don't matter.
Well,
It's the heart behind it that matters, not the pronunciation and whatever.
I would say that if you are unwilling or unable to use the correct spelling, punctuation, then your message can become very muddied and hard to understand. So
that's correct.
I would say if you're speaking to someone, that maybe context is more important than specific pronunciation. But if you're writing something, if you're conveying something in a way that isn't speaking, then yeah, grammar is pretty damn important. Anyway, before we do anything else, now that we're all here, we need to do the intro. So,
yeah. Well, thanks, guys, for joining us at our Karmic transmission tonight. You can find us at karmaincarnate.com, at Karma Incarnate on Twitter, Facebook, all the usual stuff, YouTube if you prefer
It's actually at Karmic Feed on Twitter.
Oh.
Very important, because if you do the other one, you won't be able to reach us.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Good to know. Hey, Ayame, was there anything else that you wanted to pitch?
No. I mean, obviously, our panelists are Jake and Clint and me, Ayame. You can reach me at AyameXGoddess on Twitter, because I'm the only other one that has one. And our guest tonight is
Chris Plummer.
Chris.
Well, I was going to let him introduce himself, but yeah.
Chris Plummer.
Chris Plummer.
Longtime friend of the Vanderlindens.
Indeed.
And always a friend of the Karma.
He's the guy that got me my job, believe it or not. The one that's allowed us to do a lot of the stuff when we were building Karma out of my apartment. It was the job that I got because of Chris that kept us going in that apartment for as long as we did.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, Chris has done a lot for us in a lot of ways. So, and it all started out with me just running my mouth in his basement around his brother. So, how is David doing today?
David is, he's doing okay. He's still living in the same place out in Sandy. He's working for Zion's Bank.
Nice.
It seems like he has a lot of free reign at his job. And with COVID, of course, everyone I know in IT is working from home a lot.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys are, but
I've been going into the office every day.
Yeah, I'm back at least one of my jobs.
I don't work.
You work.
I just do farming now.
No, look, he's in his shanty right now.
I'm at work now, but you can't call it work.
Yeah, that's like that's like your little hobo nest, right?
Hobo desk?
So
yeah.
Well, I was
hobos don't have desks. They're too hard to travel with.
Nest.
Oh, nest. Yeah.
Yeah, you're a hobo desk. Yeah, where you file all your paperwork.
I've never heard of a hobo with a desk in my life.
The world is their desk.
That's right. Train track.
Yeah, they work
down
anywhere they feel like
crunch
working.
your numbers on the side of the tracks, man.
I do have to say, obviously we saw the guard shack when we were over there the other night. You cleaned it up really nicely.
I did. Thank you.
Yeah. I was very happy to see that those spider webs that had been there for the past 20 years were gone. Yeah.
Well, Rex is a busy boy, so
He is.
he can't be trouble with remedial tasks like that. That's what I do.
I'd do it if you paid me.
I work with my hands. Well, that's a problem too, Chris. I don't have money either. Not yet.
I work for Legendary Magic Cards too.
Yeah, well, maybe if I get an extra.
Well, I mean,
you only have one
practice.
because we only have one legendary in a deck. So yeah, I'd give you an extra legend probably.
Is that a rule? You can only have one legendary in your deck?
You can only have one in play.
Well, one of each type at a time.
And well, the same card, you can only have
Yeah.
one out in play,
Yeah.
and that's everybody. That's why
Correct.
they're legends.
Correct.
But because of that, I just put one in a. I don't use two.
Yeah.
You couldn't
Is
make
that-
a legendary commander deck.
Has that been a rule like forever?
Yeah, for a real long time.
Oh wow.
Mm-hmm. In fact, it was a nasty little trick I used against Clint a couple of times when I was playing his legendary decks. I'd use it to remove his cards from the game. So we have one on the board at a time. It's like, oh, you're playing that guy. I'll play one of those and get rid of both of them.
So wait a minute. So if you play one, then it automatically sends the other one.
Yeah, both of them
into the graveyard or out of play.
Both of them
into
go
the graveyard.
Okay, so they're still resurrectable then.
Oh yeah, but still, to work that hard to get a legendary card out and then have somebody get rid of it by playing one, little salt in the wound.
It's the way she goes, Ricky.
It is the way she goes there. So
Man in the chair.
But
I got a fairly substantial tax return last year.
Did you?
And I really regretted selling my second edition Dungeons and Dragons books back in the day.
Oh.
So I set aside $300 and I bought a complete, not a complete set, but a fairly substantial set of 5th edition D&D books. And I've been slowly coaxing my kids into it. We're not using any rules right now. We're just free play. I've got one of their board games, the Dungeons and Dragons Temple of Elemental Evil. It's got little miniatures and a generating stack of cardboard, and so we just free play it. But you mark my words, we'll have a full blown campaign going on.
That'll be awesome, man.
Yeah, it's gonna be.
What kind of characters are you guys?
Well, Henry likes the fighter, of course. My 7-year-old boy, and Anne, she's had the worst luck with all of our games. If there's a card that gives a bad thing to happen, it always happens to Anne, and she gets so.
That's what happens when I play.
you guys are just sure pick on the girl.
Yeah, she has a little elf wizard, and I have a dwarf cleric.
Well, there's a severe discrepancy in the sex of participants in D&D. So you should let the females win on occasion.
I am fully aboard.
Did I make sense? What?
When people draw random cards out of the deck and it says do this or that, there's this little stack of cards that goes with the game.
You do, yeah.
There's nothing that can happen. So, but I feel I get what you're saying. But it's awesome that your kids are getting into gaming, man. That's one of the neat things, and it's something that we always talk about wanting to do more of. One of the neat things with our Karma business, and you've heard about this since as long as I've known you, because I've been doing this since day one at Companion. But like the whole idea of building communities and bringing people together around things that they like to do, and just sharing common interests and commonalities with each other is the whole name of the game. And we do it with our kids all the time, sharing magic and, board games. I wish that I've got so many board games, it's not even funny. If I had a couple of kids around, I'd play them all the time. And Ayame doesn't really count as a kid anymore. She's in this screen, so that's why I'm pointing this way for all of you watching.
Okay.
She's like a big kid, but it's hard to coordinate that stuff. But the family...
Well, it's not like I've been begging you guys to play all the board games I've been getting off Kickstarter for.
Just gotta bring them around.
What's your favorite game off Kickstarter right now? You're begging.
So the only one I've only got 2 so far. I got Ghostbusters 2 and I got Dinosaur Island, which we did play once. The one I've got coming in that I'm excited about is AV Ghost, and I've got Tiny Pirates coming in also, hopefully within the next couple of months.
That Dinosaur Island one's cool.
Dinosaur Island was a lot of fun. AV Ghost, I've already told these guys when I finally get it, they're going to play it. I mean, I'm not going to take no for an answer. If I have to lock them in the house, they're going to do it. And it's going to take like 15 hours because it's a big game. But it looks really awesome. I'm very excited about it.
If it's one like Risk where you've got to set it up and let it sit for days to finish it, we'll have to. I don't know how that'll work out because
I don't know. We'll see. It's got, like I said, it's got an app that goes with it. It's got a soundtrack. It's got like all kinds of stuff. I don't know how long it's going to take.
What kind of an app and a soundtrack, and you're supposed to use it simultaneously with the board?
Yeah.
This does not sound like a game.
Yeah, it looks so awesome.
Sounds like work.
It doesn't it? It kind of sounds like work.
Dark Tower from when we were kids.
What?
The Dark Tower, a game when we were kids that had an interactive board.
Yeah, like a digital board,
like Wing Commander kind of.
Maybe I haven't seen Wing Commander. Dark Tower.
That like electronic battleship.
Yeah, but it was way more advanced than electronic battleship. I mean, you couldn't find it for less than $300 online right now.
Well, then I don't want any part of it. I can't get on these Zoom calls.
Well, hey, Clint.
Give me cards or a board game. Leave the electronics out of it.
Well,
I want to go archaic on this shit.
I've managed to make it up to Rick Everett's house. He got laid off, of course, and we had a couple game days, maybe 3 or 4 of them.
Yeah.
Over the pandemic. And that game you were discussing, that would be good for the second lockdown. As soon as the second lockdown rolls in, before we all get too fearful, roll in, and that's when you play a game like that.
No kidding.
Oh, it'll work even better because you're supposed to do it without, like, you're supposed to do it with the lights off. So when the power eventually goes out, it'll be even better. Like all the little pieces, like the ghosts glow in the dark, and the little like ghost hunter characters have like little flashlights built into them. It's like
cool.
That's nuts.
Super stoked for it.
Have you guys ever heard of Red Dragon Inn?
I've heard of it.
I've heard of it.
Rex was telling us that you brought that up camping this year.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah, I've got a huge box of it with a bunch of different sets. It's really fun. It's like you're these fantasy characters at a bar, at an inn, a bar, and it's a lot of fun. It's funny, and it's kind of got a collectible vibe to it, without being ridiculous like Magic, so anybody can kind of play. They don't have to have their own cards.
Right.
But it's pretty cool. It's kind of a mix between that and like D&D and a little kind of funny drinking game.
What if you don't drink
with it, Clint?
You don't need to drink with it.
Then why play it? I'm not following.
It's like, wait a minute. You bring this up and then you take it away. Why?
Yeah. No, but see,
you can.
The thing is, all those games, they give us the chance to get together with friends and family and do things as part of a group.
That's what it's all about.
Exactly. And why not take those groups and have them get involved in things and do more? Because the more we do together, the bigger the group can get, right? That's why you go to a game shop and you have a draft, or you do, all of these little events, is to just build that community and make things more intertwined, and you do it around commonalities, that shared interest in something. And, one of the biggest shared interests that I think everybody has is wanting to end hunger. Nobody likes to see people hungry. So it's interesting that we have yet to build a community around that. A lot of it always got isolated into certain groups or only specific types of organizations, religious groups or charitable groups. They were the only ones that could do that. But in all reality, why can't any group choose to do something with a cause as well as whatever they like LARPers? You know what I mean? If LARPers were to end hunger, I don't think anybody would make fun of them anymore, would they?
I don't know about that.
Well,
we would appreciate them more, but they would just be we would still.
It would be one of those bitter pills that everyone had to swallow at that point.
Right.
You know what I mean? We
Why
want to
couldn't they end hunger and still dress like everyone else?
What was that, Clint?
He said, why couldn't they end hunger and still dress like everyone else? I don't get it.
Yeah, basically.
Well, and it's a great cause, and if you kind of look at what's going on in the world right now, I bring this negative shit up every time, but it's like we need each other, and we're gonna need each other more and more. Because, I mean, do you feel comfortable saying I need our government right now? I need, you know what I mean? I need my social media. All that stuff is so finite and can be taken away or overblown or exploded or imploded at any point. But if we're a strong community together, then we survive and maybe even prosper. That's my bleak outlook. Bleak yet optimistic. I just don't have a lot of faith in what's going on right now. I see a lot of people arguing and a lot of people getting divided up, and so that's why I think it's a perfect time for something like this, where we make it our business to not only end hunger but to stick together.
Well, that's just it. It's encouraging people to act in their community. You know, do you guys remember the old recycling saying, think global, act local? Right? That's what karma is through and through. Local action, local involvement. You take care of the people that are closest, because guess what? Those are the people that I know how to help. I know what they need and what assistance can be provided to them to help make things get through.
Well, you know, you can wrap your head around it.
Yeah. Having somebody half a world away trying to say, well, I think this is what they need, they got no idea. You know, when it comes down to action, local communities within themselves taking care of each other, that's the answer. You know, and the unique thing that karma has to offer is it builds a world community, because, you know, when we solve a problem or when we end hunger in one area, it's going to overflow into all areas. You know, just like we talk about, you know, a drop in a pond doesn't really matter where it lands, because the ripples will reach everywhere. It's going to spread, but it has to start somewhere. And how you get ahead of all of those things is you show them that we will take care of ourselves. We'll understand this and we'll look out for our community, and we can then just move forward on our own. We don't have to have all that extra worry about the outside stuff. You know, the best way to get, you know, if you don't like what the government does, take the responsibility for it, and then they don't even need to be there. You know, or whomever. If you're an 18-year-old kid sitting in your parents' basement and you want a way out, take ownership of yourself and take responsibility of yourself. Get your job, start a business, do something, and you'll be out of there before you know it. But the first step is claiming your part of it, and then moving forward. You know, but in the end, we do
100% accountability.
You know, groups are what make us all move. So, because that's the thing. If you want to go fast, you go alone. But if you want to go far, you go together. That's the trick. You know, when you're the lone adventurer off in the wilderness by yourself and you break your leg, you're done. You know, that's the end of your story. But if you got a group, if you've got a posse, some compadres coming forward with you, like we got right here, and you can coordinate it through gaming, or you can coordinate it through, you know, any type of action that you want to see to build something bigger, then you've got a chance to at least make it even farther, you know?
Yeah, and it's a neat thing, because you're taking care of yourself, you're taking care of everybody, and, you know, charity's neat and everything, but you can't be charitable when everything's taken from you. So you know what I mean? So this, you can be charitable and build something for yourself.
Well, that's any parent's going to be able to tell you that you can't, if you're not taking care of yourself, you can't help anyone else. If you're starving to death, that doesn't, you can't do anything to assist people. That just plain and simple fact of life, unfortunately, for what it is, because, this is the one thing that karma gives people, that if all they want to do is give. I look at where we come from, and Clint, Dad, he'd give anybody the shirt off his back to help him out, but he's always understood that if he doesn't have the shirt, it doesn't really help, so he's always tried to be tempered. But if you're that kind of person, this is the ultimate way, because what we do, we buy food and give it away for free. That's what we do, and that's all that if that's who you are at your core, this business is going to give you a way to earn something to give even more away, because that's allows it to generate even more just by getting people involved. So it's really unique in that regard, because in the end, if you don't want to think about yourself, do things the karma way, and you're just going to be taken care of anyway. So you can just worry about everybody else all the time, but karma will be there to cover you too.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, karma buys the food, distributes the food, delivers the food. All you got to do is find people that want to change the world.
Yeah, exactly.
Easiest job in the world, and rewarding.
It is. It really is.
Definitely rewarding. I don't think anybody would argue that.
Nope. Well, and here's the pardon me, and everybody should have seen it today. I believe, we went through and we were processing payments and getting everything ready, because with the Karma food purchase this last weekend, we immediately go into processing and running the payments for the next month.
Mm-hmm.
And what's really cool is that at that same time, we get to pay all of our agents and do all of those things. So it makes it that you can every month see that tangible return. In some cases, it might only be $1 or $2 or something like that, but overall, you can always see it every single time. And the biggest part about it is that the ratio is all there to benefit the whole. If you want to earn $1 million in karma, you're going to give away $10 million in food. And
a lot of help.
It is. It's a whole lot of help, and it's something that when you really want to try to get down to it, that ratio, like I say, go ahead, give your shirt away all day long, because you'll just be taken care of as well, because you'll have another shirt and another shirt, because it's all meant to self-perpetuate. When you plant a seed and it grows into corn, it usually provides more than what you gave back. You put in one seed, and every stalk and ear of corn on there is a seed in itself. So it's any time that you do these things, there's always going to be more that comes back, and you only need so much. So what do we do with the rest? We pay it forward the karma way.
Brilliant.
Makes it a lot of fun. And in the end, the key is, just like you said, Clint, we've got to come together. It takes all of us to make it work.
Well, and it's a great opportunity. I mean, we were talking yesterday. No, not yesterday. I guess it was Saturday now, Saturday, when we were doing the stickering. But we were talking about communities, and ultimately, karma is the best kind of a community. And like Clint was saying, it's like, we need each other more than we arguably ever have. And those communities they're out there, they're waiting to be built, and they'll work together, to bolster you. They'll work together to bolster, karma. There's just so many. I completely lost my train of thought. There's so many facets of it that are so beneficial. And it really, like you were saying, it all comes back to community. It all comes back to helping each other, whether it's getting together to, play board games like we were talking about, or play Magic, or feed people. You know, they all work together. They all tie together.
Yeah. Karma doesn't care if you're right, left, red, blue, sick, walking in a wheelchair. It doesn't matter where you are, who you're from. If you think people need to have food, here we are.
Mm-hmm.
You'd be pretty hard pressed to find anybody that doesn't think that.
Yeah.
It's very true.
Sometimes I think I don't need food.
Well, I think.
Are you serious? Almost every single time we've done one of these, you've been eating something.
I know. That's because we were doing it at 6:30. Look, it's 7. No food.
Oh, it's 7 now, so now we don't have to have food anymore.
This means you should have a milkshake. You got to have dessert with you.
Yeah, seriously.
I need my signature series milkshake.
Chris is eating though. That might balance it out a little bit.
Yeah, what do you got going on there, Chris?
I got some Greek yogurt. It was delicious.
Oh,
nice.
Healthy food.
What is different about Greek yogurt as opposed to like Yoplait?
It's thicker and it has way more protein in it.
Protein in yogurt?
Yeah. Oh, lots of.
Nice.
I want to say it has close to 20 grams of protein in a serving.
And it's got that good, like it's good for your gut biome, isn't it?
Yeah, totally. I'm going to see how much protein this has. It has 14 grams of protein and only 8 sugars and 100 calories. That's pretty good.
Sounds decent.
That was
Not
really
too bad.
I ate those Chobani ones, the flip ones.
Yeah.
They're like 180 calories, but still good.
You flip it and then you dump the sugar half into it.
Yeah, you dump all the little cookie pieces into it. It's like we're almost tricking ourselves into thinking it's health food.
Right.
I love that.
I mean, technically it is because it's, you know, I'm down from about an 800 calorie lunch to just over 180. So, I mean, technically, even though it's still full of sugars and shit, it's still a little bit better than it could be.
Hey, less intake and more output is the name of the game, right?
Yeah, that's my justification for it.
I've never counted calories or paid attention to calories. I don't know. I'm not a numbers guy. I don't. You know what I mean?
You don't like. You only have to do it. I've found at least you only have to really do it at the beginning. Like I have really, really bad eating habits. So for me, it just kind of helps put everything in perspective, exactly how much I'm putting in. But now that I've been doing it for like 3 months or so, I don't strictly count them anymore because I have a pretty good idea.
You kind of know what's what.
What the intake is, yeah. So I can kind of work it out a little bit better now.
You're automatically counting calories.
Yeah, I mean, but it's less stringent. I'm not super rigid about it as much as I used to be, but I kind of like mentally figure it in a little bit.
I just try to eat a bunch of protein when I care. If I'm in a mood where I care about my body, my health, I just try to eat a lot of protein and veggies. I don't count anything. The intermittent fasting is pretty awesome, where you eat only like 8 hours out of a 24-hour cycle or whatever.
Yeah, that's fun.
Yeah.
And it's not that hard. I think that's like the easiest diet out there.
I was really good at doing that until I started working again.
Yeah.
Like when I was in quarantine at home, I had no problem doing the intermittent fasting. But as soon as I go back to work, and I think it's because we're right next door to a great harvest. So all day long, we're just smelling bread.
Oh.
Which great harvest are you by?
The one up in Park City at Kimball Junction.
Oh, you work up there?
Yeah. We were trying to figure out the other day why every time we all go into work, we suddenly get really hungry. And we're pretty sure that's why.
I would think so. It's like the cookie smell at Disneyland, you know?
Oh yeah. Well, and they make those. They make that, and they make, cinnamon rolls and stuff.
Yeah.
I thought that was princess farts.
That's their brand name for it.
If they were to have a perfume, that's what the name would be of the perfume.
Oh, Chris, did you already go? When I was trying to get on here, I didn't hear or not. Did you already say where you were working? Did you guys talk about that?
Yeah, I'm working for, basically I'm a cable guy right now.
Awesome.
Yeah, and if I was working for Comcast, I'd be making $30 an hour, but I'm not. I'm working for a contractor who's taking that overhead and then doling it out to us newbies. So, you know, I get like $13 an hour, and if I do all my safety and everything right, I'll get another $1 an hour, and if I get good reports, then I'll get another $1 an hour. So, you know, you can, and if I work fast and hard, you know, I might be able to make a few more bucks on top of that. So for the time being, I'm making diddly shit. But
can I hire you for a sweet little gig?
What's that?
I'm assuming you have like a toner so you can track cable, right?
What do you mean track cable? Like
you
hook a toner to where I can listen to the noise on the cable?
Yeah.
Yeah. Not yet. I'll get that in week 3. I'm still training.
Awesome. When you get that, if I gotta I gotta locate a cable.
Oh no, I actually already have the toner. No, the little thing that whistles when you put it on one side.
Right. I just have isotoners. I don't have a toner.
Okay.
But if you can bring over your toner or something, we can play some cards or something. Maybe I'll pay you in magic cards.
Maybe
Your isotoners are a football thing, right?
I don't know what they are. There's something. I just open my mouth and shit falls out of it.
Well, that's a good habit to have because I've got.
It's a Vanderlinden trait, is what that is.
It is.
Yeah, but my brothers can actually articulate. That's where they have the advantage.
Sometimes the words don't come out so good.
Yeah. Words are hard.
They are. You know, it's funny because it kind of comes back around to what I was talking with Ayame earlier. With all you guys, it's for being what we consider the most advanced creature on the face of this planet, right? We've developed this thing called language and speaking that we think is a great way of communicating. And in all reality, it really sucks. I mean, it's really bad. And writing doesn't get much better just because there's so much room for interpretation. What it usually comes down to is the like comprehension of the unsaid stuff. You know, the emotion and the feeling behind it and what actually goes into what you're trying to say. That is usually the substance, and it's
you know, I don't know about that because like it's so easy to misinterpret what people are saying. It's so easy to think that they're lying. You know, I have a problem where like when I'm at work, every single thing that I say sounds sarcastic, and I am not being sarcastic at work all the time. It's like I say something to my coworkers, I'm like, "Hey, good job on that," and they're like, What do you mean? What'd you say that for? And I'm like, because I meant it. They're like, well, why does it sound sarcastic? And I'm like, because that's just how I sound.
Well,
maybe they're not something to work on. You got to work on your communication skills.
Absolutely. But I'm just saying, it's like, you know, if I can write something down, if I write good job on a Post-it note, they get that. They're like, oh, well, thank you.
Well, that furthers my point, though. Right there is literally, if it depends on an interpretation, and oddly enough, there's so much that goes into the actual interpretation because I have a harder time with messaging. I'll write something out, and people look at me and go, "Well, why did you write it this way?" And to me, I look at it and it makes perfect sense, but to them, it's like I've got lobsters crawling out of my ears and like, you know,
We've really been on the Christmas story stuff.
That's why it's so awesome to have really important arguments on Facebook.
I'm sorry.
That's why that works so good.
Because you don't have to worry about context, nuance,
inflection, body language.
Yeah. It's like you don't have to.
It's all out the window.
there's no room for like
And
having
you don't
a
have the other
big
person staring
topic.
in the face, ready to punch you in the nose.
I'm a big fan of
That's a big one. That's a big
Marco
one.
Polo app.
Huh?
Try the Marco Polo app. It's just a video. You send a video message, and you don't have to type anything. So I could say, "Hey, Clint, hi, I'm coming over today with the toner. Great job." And you see me, and you see my face, and you see me, you hear me, and I don't have to type anything, and it sends the video.
Yeah, we've Marco Polo before.
Oh, we have. You're a great Marco Poloer, Clint.
I consider myself a Marco Poloist.
I think you've Marco Poloed me from the toilet. Have you?
Oh, yeah. I do my best Marco Poloing on, Marco Polo, it's a water sport.
I was just going to say.
You're plunk, G.
So let that be a lesson to everybody. Don't get on Marco Polo and try to contact Clint. There's a pretty damn good chance you'll get it when he's on the toilet.
I reach out from the toilet. I
There's
don't.
profound thoughts that go through people's heads in those few moments of silence. I mean,
oh yeah,
you want to share. It's just how it works.
I think it's like when you're singing in the shower. You think you sound a lot better than you do. You're sitting there on the toilet and you're like, oh yeah, that's super profound. And then you send it to someone else and they're like, dude, what the hell? What are you even talking about?
See? Interpretation. All in the interpretation.
Yeah. On the one hand, you're interpreting it as something profound, and literally everyone else in the world is going, no.
Can we make one thing clear, though? Can we make one thing clear, though? I do sound really good in the shower.
Oh, well, I mean, you know.
You just sound really
okay, sure. I'll give you that one.
You know, I'm the guy that's got the voice for print.
Yeah.
And yet we all have our kids.
So
voice for print. That's good.
Well, that's why you have a podcast, right?
Well, hey, this is our podcast. It's just like karma isn't, my idea, it's our idea. This is shared. This is a community, just like everything else.
This is our podcast.
Our podcast. No, the one thing that I will go ahead and bring up here, guys, since we have a couple of participants, and Chris, if you're always welcome to come out and check these out too. The label events, we had a couple of changes come up, so we're going to be kind of redoing how those are going to come out, probably taking on a little bit more of a digital format. So just because with everything still kind of on lockdown, we got to get our food labeled, but everybody wants to participate. So we're going to try to come up with something new for those. When we have them, we'd love to have you guys participate and jump in there with us. However it goes on, if we just do a projector and have everybody talk with us or whatever, it might even have a little bit of this kind of a format with us sitting down and just talking with everybody that comes on. But, oddly enough, right now in this time where everybody understands the need to come together, the thing I think that's driven that is the fact that everybody's been forced apart for as long as they have. And I really kind of use forced because a lot of people didn't really want to do some of these things, but they'll participate and act on them anyway. But we can still, even if we can't be there face to face, arm in arm, we can always be there heart to heart every step of the way, talking with people and interacting with them this way. And that's the biggest thing when it comes down to it. The thing that karma needs more than anything is that strength of heart, that strength of character to, even when people want to say, well, what's going on? You're not doing this. You're not to stand there and be involved anyway, because dude, we're doing good. We're doing incredible things and we're working hard to solve a problem that most people only really address maybe once or twice a year, but we'll take it on every single day. That's what's incredible. And
consistency.
The one thing that all of those communities need more than anything is to know that they're not alone, to know that it's not just them thinking about it, that it's a group. And that's the thing that we're trying to offer more with all of our karma stuff. Was the idea behind the karma chat in a lot of ways, even though we can't go to Chili's, getting those people together so that we can actually look at it and go, look, we're not alone. If we tackle this together, we can actually make a difference, So any way that we can, and anybody that wants to do stuff like this, I encourage them to do so. That's why I say this isn't, I've picked the date and the time and I've called it a karmic transmission. And a lot of that stuff has come because that's what we wanted to do. But anybody that wants to do something like this can. And that's all that it takes is a little bit of time to coordinate and say, hey guys, let's get together on Zoom. Let's get together on a Google Hangout or a Facebook Live session. Because whatever you need to do, just let people know that we're there, that we care, that we're all wanting to be a part of it. And that's how we get through all this, you know, because even though we are literally held apart, we can still show them that, well, we'll get together anyway. We'll still make something happen. That's the catch. So
I like it.
It's an incredible tool that we have with all this stuff. And there's no reason that we can't capitalize on it and use it as much as we possibly can. So
one of the nice things about it is literally anybody can do this. I mean, you can get you can get Zoom. If you don't want to get Zoom, you can do Google Hangouts. You can do a lot of different ways. Facebook supports this kind of thing now. YouTube supports it. There's so many different avenues to get together, to get out there and get talking to other people and get other people to talk to you.
Mm-hmm.
Community. That's the topic this time is community.
So, but yeah, that's the one thing that's incredible is it gives everybody the chance to engage, and we all do it because it's the right thing to do, you know. Just being there for each other, looking out for each other. You know, we had a transformer blow up here at my house yesterday, and I had like 4 different neighbors come by and peek their head over the fence and talk to me for a minute. And the Xfinity guy came over and talked to me for a minute. And then the power company guys, when they showed up, they came to my house because they heard us talking, and the easiest way to get to the pole was through my yard. So we're talking with the power guys as they're fixing a transformer in my backyard. You know, it's when you're willing to engage and do all that, everybody can see how easy life can be, and everybody can gear down a notch and just make it run a little bit smoother for them, because it's that extra worry and concern that everybody has a hard time with. And guess what? You know, the world's crazy. There's a lot of stuff going on, but we're here to make sure that everyone's getting fed. And if we all do that, that's a huge weight off of everybody's mind, you know. And we can all rest a little bit easier, and we can all care a little bit easier for each other. And that's what solving those base problems can do for a lot of folks, you know. So with the community.
Damn it.
Well said, Jake. Well said.
So, but anyway, I feel like I've been on a soapbox for an hour, guys. It's been great talking, though.
Oh God!
Well, good. I'm glad you're still doing this, Jake. It's good to know that there are people out there doing that, and I'm always willing to do a little service myself. So let me know when the opportunities arise. And
dude,
I've been. I didn't
mention your brother David. I need to catch up with him too. It's been a minute with him. He saved my bacon on that tech cell phone. To be honest with you, God love that guy. Otherwise, I might be working night shifts for that company by now too. So. And I can't do that. I got this to do at nights. There's too many important things to be worrying about that in my game.
Oh my gosh, no doubt.
So, but I think this is where we're going to call it, though, guys. It's 8 o'clock. We made it through. Another karmic transmission down.
That was fantastic. Thanks for letting me participate.
Dude, thanks for coming on.
Joining us.
Great having you.
It's great
And
to see
for everybody watching, thank you again. Be sure to check us out, karmaincarnate.com, at Karmic Feed on Twitter. Karma Incarnate on Facebook, YouTube. You know, look up Karma Incarnate and you're going to find us. That's the catch. And we'll be right there waiting to get you guys involved in ending hunger and making it our business to take care of our neighbors.
Now that's an outro. Very nice.
All right.
Glad to see you're paying attention.
All
right, y'all.
Okay, take care.
Night, guys.
Good night.